actually Torres. I'm here with Right Art Twins Media. We are here with a lovely, beautiful artist. Her name is Kylie. She goes by Polyperspective. She has some incredible art. She has a really big repertoire, and she's a really cool person who we're going to get to know today and get to see her art. So I'm super excited to get to know more about her and to get to talk to her. So if you can introduce yourself, Kylie.
Well, again, my name is Kylie. I go by Polyperspective. Been an artist my whole life, so I don't really know. Ask a question.
Well, let's start off with an easy question.
Okay.
What made you choose Polyperspective as your name?
Actually, I am half Samoan, so Polynesian, poly, and then perspective. I wanted to tie it in with something to do with artwork, some type of visual. So that's where that name came from.
That's awesome. Do you sign your artwork with Polyperspective, or do you sign it?
No, I actually sign with my initials, which are KCY. So a lot of people will mistake it, but who's Casey? Who's Casey? And I'm like, oh, that's me. But yeah.
Okay. I talked to you before this interview, and you said you got into drawing.
Yes.
Right? So that was the first medium you went into art with.
Yes. Yes.
What made you start in that medium and then switch over to painting?
I would have to say my father. He was an artist, and he was a sketchbook artist. He never went to paints. So growing up, trying to mimic his work, just a pencil and paper felt natural. The day I decided to go into painting, I actually sketched a Native American woman in a beautiful, colorful headdress, and it was just on a little normal sketchbook. And everyone was like, you need to turn that into a painting, you need to blow it up, you need to do something. So one day I just sat down with some oil paints, which I don't use anymore. I use acrylic paints now. But I sat down with some oil paints and just started mimicking the sketch to canvas. And after that, it just took off, and I never really picked up a pencil ever again.
Yeah.
So.
Did you love painting more than pencil? Yes,
I would definitely say that. There's been times where I've tried to just go back to sketching just to like brainstorm, and I hate it. I hate it now, I really do. It's so much more stressful and to sit there and actually like really work in the shading, and just with painting it's much more free.
Yeah.
It relaxes me a lot more.
Okay.
So.
What would you say is your main inspiration for your paintings?
That's a hard one. I feel like none of my work really goes together. I guess maybe you could see a little style behind it, maybe like the pop art feel, but really I just paint whatever I want, however I want. It really just comes from beautiful things I see, or it's just something that catches my eye throughout the day.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Would you say that when you paint, you have to paint in a certain mood, a certain environment, have to be in a certain like mindset?
Well, I'm a mother of 2 young boys, so as far as like getting the ideal environment, it's never gonna happen. But no, it really hits me randomly. I could be sitting right here and then be like, I need to go home and paint. Okay. It kind of happens sporadically for me, which is good and bad, because then, like I said like earlier, I go through droughts where I'm just like not inspired at all to do anything. So.
Is there any artists that are your inspiration? Like artists that you've met in your life, or really known artists that like inspire you and you love their work?
You know, I hate to sit here and sound like so self-absorbed, but I really don't. You know, like everyone knows the big old artists like Picasso and Michelangelo, but I feel like art today is so prevalent. There's so many artists out there that I could name an artist and maybe no one would even know who I'm talking about. Because there's just so many. So I do definitely appreciate other artists, and when I go to shows, I love looking around and getting inspiration, but I can never just like a name can't pop into my head and just say that's the person.
That's fair. So. Do you get inspired off art or TV or any of that sometimes on your artwork?
It's mostly women. It's mostly women.
Okay.
But I guess that's hard to show because a lot of my work is so many different things. Sometimes it'll be a song, sometimes it'll be like a childhood movie or something. I feel like with my paints, I tend to go towards color, a lot of color. Yeah. So anything that's like super vibrant, or something that I could make super vibrant, you know, something with contrast, that's usually what I go towards.
Okay, cool. When you say women, I saw some of your pieces are literally like the figure of a lady.
Yeah.
What made you get into that? Like, was it from a live model, or was it from a picture, or just like you?
Well, gosh, honestly, I have painted naked women so much. I remember when my oldest son was younger, he asked me, he was like, why are you always painting naked ladies? I was just like, oh, I'm sorry. You know, like, let me censor it. But no, I feel like I'm just so familiar with the female form that one I really, the one you're talking about is the very contrasted black and white one. I really wanted to show the beauty of a woman, not only with her being sexy, but with her being strong. So I went with more of like an X-ray feel, so you can still appreciate all her curves, but you can actually see the strength within her as well. So, yeah.
I could definitely see that. Like, that's actually kind of what my friend said when I saw your piece.
Awesome, yeah.
I like that it's subtle, but it really shows the beauty and the structure of her, and I was like, yeah. So talking about art, I know sometimes being an artist can be challenging, and we hit drought seasons and stuff like that. So what would you say is your biggest challenge? Like, what do you hit as a roadblock sometimes as an artist?
It's a good problem to have, but being an artist that's open to having commission work, open to, you know, I will paint what you want me to paint. It's good money, it's good consistent money, but it also, it definitely feeds the fire to the whole losing your inspiration, because you're constantly pumping out artwork for other people, what other people want. So to do it back to back to back, you almost kind of lose like the drive to start producing other things. I would say that's my hardest battle right now. In this very moment, I could say that's what it is.
What do you do to combat it?
I try, there'll be nights where I want to paint and I just don't want to work on the piece that I need to work on. So I will pull out a small canvas, a real small, maybe like 11 by 17, and just paint something real quick. It'll usually be like a glitter one. That's usually the ones that I produce when I just really want to make something, but I don't really have the time to put into it all the way. So it helps, and really just like having determination, because I can be one lazy person. So just to stay determined and just to stay like, really money is the motivation, honestly, when it comes to stuff like that. Like, this is my full-time job, I'm a full-time artist, so I gotta do this, you know? So.
What made you take the leap, I guess that's what people call it, like the leap, and have the courage to be a full-time artist?
Oh my gosh, I haven't even been doing this for a year yet. It'll be a year in June. But so many people, close friends would come up to me. I was definitely a starving artist. I used to paint my stuff and save it. No one could ever have it. Like, no one's gonna appreciate it as much as me. But my friends would always tell me, like, you really need to just start doing art shows. Like, your work would sell so good. And the first one I actually did was Pancakes and Booze in Dallas. And my first night, I only sold one piece, but I sold it for $350. And it was my first night, and I was just like, you know what? It just kind of went on from there. I started getting more offers. I met so many different people that night. I networked, and it just really took off from there. So.
And that's when you decided, or you had already decided in that?
I was still going to school. I was so close to getting my degree and my teaching certificate. I kept doing that, but once I finally got it, and the certificate was in my hands, I kind of was just like, I don't want to do this. I kind of want to stick with art and keep doing what I'm doing. So the decision to take this further with my career in the future, that actually was decided about a few weeks ago. So,
okay, wow. Yeah. Okay. Were you hesitant, or were you just like clear picture?
It's mixed feelings. I still feel like if I think about it too hard, I get hesitant, just because, you know, I feel like art trends die and are born, and you know, there's so many different lanes. I feel like if I think about it too hard, I start to doubt myself. Yeah. So I try really hard not to do that.
That's good. Well, what would you say is your biggest accomplishment so far as an artist?
Probably just how rapid my growth has happened. you know, my first show, like I said, I made $350, and it was every show after that, it was like a gradual increase. And then my last show, I made almost $3,000. So it's just, I'm very, I don't want to sound, once again, I don't want to sound conceited, but I'm very proud of myself because I am an introvert. I'm very to myself. So to be able to pack all my stuff up and go to a show and be there all night and really just get to know so many different people, it's a very big step for me, I would say. I still get butterflies like driving to the show. I never want to go by myself, but I'm slowly learning how to become more of a people person.
That's good.
So, yeah.
That's good. Being an artist, I know we help other artists, so in some way, what would be your best advice for someone? Like,
just stay confident in your work. Honestly, I still struggle with that. If I make an amazing piece and I tell someone this is the set price, and you know it sits for a while because no one wants to pay the set price, don't lower the price. Don't lose confidence in your work. Do not lower the price. Someone will eventually buy it. Yeah. Someone will eventually, you know, pay what it's worth. I feel like that's something I struggle with a lot, is I feel like I tend to, every show I go to, if I have a piece that I'm continuing to bring to each show, I'll lower the price. And this last show, I sold a lot of pieces, but I sold them all for really cheap, and a lot of people were telling me that I'm not giving my work its correct value.
Yeah.
So some pieces I would sell, and they were like, wow, you're only selling this for $100? I would have paid $300. And I was just like, dang, like, yeah. That's what it was the first time. But yeah, that's my biggest advice, is just stay confident in what you produce. So, yeah.
That's good advice. Well, it was super fun to talk to Kylie.
Yes.
I really want you to check out her art. You're gonna see some through the video. She's constantly painting those, so you have to start following her because she's always bringing them new pieces, and they're coming and going. As you can see, she's doing really good, and they're going all over DFW and probably other places now too.
Yeah.
So if you can share all your social media, like Facebook, Instagram, and all you have with us, so you guys can follow her. You have to follow her and go check out the art shows she does, because some of her pieces are like so much better in person because they actually have glitter and they have more shine to them, and they're like, it's just better to see art in person. So
yeah.
See her in person too.
Yes. So my Instagram is _Polyperspective, POLY perspective. My Snapchat is, and that's where you'll see more of my raw actually doing the work. Snapchat is Polypersuasion. So that also played into the name. Facebook is really just family. So I mean, if you want to, you can, but it's just Kylie Yost. But yeah, that's really just family. So yeah.
Well, it was great to meet you, Kylie.
Yes,
and
nice
it
to
was
meet you
great to share your experience with everyone that's going to be looking at this video. And yeah, thanks you guys.
Thank you.